Eye colors are more than just a detail of your appearance. They are an evolutionary tool that helped your ancestors survive. Over 70% of people have brown eyes, but the other 30% carry genetic traces that tell a fascinating story of migration, adaptation, and evolution. The question is, what does your eye color really reveal about you? The most common eye color in the world is also the most effective. Brown eyes owe their strength to melanin, a pigment that absorbs 90% of the light and protects the eye like a natural filter. Studies from the University of Copenhagen show that this melanin is not only responsible for eye color, but also acts as an integrated sunscreen, shielding delicate structures in the eye from damage. In extremely bright environments, this was a crucial advantage in the past. Less glare, clearer vision, better protection against UV radiation and damage of the DNA eye cells. Exactly what made the difference for early humans under intense sunlight. That's why brown eyes are especially common in regions with strong sunlight. They are no accident, but the result of adaptation over many generations. And yet, there's more. In warm light, even these dark eyes can reveal golden hints, a subtle indication of the iris's complex layered structure. Blue eyes may seem familiar, but they are a genetic mystery. Every person with blue eyes traces back to a single ancestor who lived around 6,000 to 10,000 years ago. Genetic studies show that a mutation in the HERC2 gene drastically reduced melanin production in the iris, giving rise to the first blue eyes. Strictly speaking, blue eyes aren't really blue. They simply lack pigment. When light hits it, the shorter blue wavelengths are scattered outward, while the longer wavelengths continue passing through, creating the same effect that makes the sky look blue. This makes them exceptionally sensitive to light. Depending on the environment, they can shift from icy blue to soft gray. This change likely originated in the region around the Black Sea, during a time when human groups were migrating into Europe. With these migrations, the gene for blue eyes gradually spread northward. Why this mutation spread so quickly remains unclear. Over only a few thousand years, their frequency rose from virtually 0% to roughly 70 to 95% in Northern Europe. Some researchers suggest an advantage in low-light conditions, helping people see more easily in dim environments, where many of these early populations migrated, allowing more light to reach the retina. Others point to sexual selection. Their rarity made them striking and attractive. What's particularly fascinating, DNA analyses show that early Europeans had blue eyes paired with darker skin, evidence that light eyes appeared long before light skin, highlighting the complex story of human migration and adaptation. This finding challenges the earlier belief that blue eyes were merely a byproduct of the pale skin adaptation. Green eyes are among the rarest in the world. Only about 2% of people have them. Behind this color lies not a single gene, but a complex combination of 16 genetic factors. The result? A precise balance of melanin and a yellowish pigment called lipochrome that gives the iris its characteristic green hue. This balance makes green eyes highly variable. Depending on the light, they can appear deep moss green, warm golden, or almost gray, a color that never fully settles but constantly shifts. Over centuries, this quality fueled human imagination. In many cultures, green eyes were seen as mysterious, sometimes even supernatural. In the Middle Ages, they were associated with witchcraft, in mythology with special abilities and intuition. Yet, evolutionarily, this eye color makes sense. Green eyes fall between light and dark, providing some protection from light, while remaining sensitive enough for changing environments. A benefit in landscapes with constant shifts of shadow and light, such as forests or northern regions. Their medium level of melanin provides a bit of natural UV protection, while still keeping the eyes quite light sensitive, a middle ground between dark brown and bright blue. Genetically, green eyes appear most often in people with Celtic and Germanic roots, especially in places like Ireland and Scotland, where up to 86% of some groups carry the gene. Still, they can show up in any population when the right genetic mix is present. They are rare and complex. Perhaps that's exactly what makes them so fascinating. Gray eyes are extremely rare. Less than 3% of people worldwide have them. Their cool, steel-like tone comes from a particularly low level of melanin, which spreads light across multiple wavelengths, giving them a silvery, almost metallic appearance. Depending on the light, they can shift between silver, slate, and a subtle greenish tint, a color that never feels fully fixed. They are thought to have developed in low-light regions like Northern Europe, where increased light transmission may have been an advantage. But this advantage comes at a cost. Less melanin also means less protection from UV radiation. Gray eyes are more sensitive to intense sunlight. Gray eyes result from a wide dispersion of light wavelengths, giving them a balanced, steady tone that's often harder to read emotionally. With less visible color variation, they're sometimes linked to traits like composure, wisdom, or emotional distance. Unlike blue eyes, which can shift between bright and warm, gray eyes tend to keep a cool, neutral look that many perceive as mysterious. But this minimal melanin also has its downsides. Like blue eyes, gray eyes are more sensitive to UV exposure and need consistent protection to avoid long-term damage. Amber eyes are rare and instantly recognizable. Their uniform golden to copper tone remains stable. Unlike hazel eyes, they hardly change with the light. This color comes from high levels of lipochrome combined with low melanin, giving them a warm, glowing character. Interestingly, this eye color also appears in many predators, enhancing its intense, penetrating effect. Unlike other eye colors which can shift in color, amber eyes remain consistently rich and golden, regardless of lighting or surroundings. This steady hue is also seen in many predatory animals, like wolves, owls, and eagles, which may be why amber eyes often feel naturally intense or commanding. Some researchers believe this color is subconsciously linked to alertness and confidence, traits that could carry subtle social advantages. From an evolutionary standpoint, amber eyes may have developed less for adapting to light and more as a visual signal. Their striking appearance could have been favored through attraction and mate selection rather than environmental pressure. Genetically, amber eyes appear most frequently in people with Southern European, Asian, or South American ancestry, though they can occur in any population when the right combination of genes influencing melanin and lipochrome is present. Rare, consistent, and intense. One of the most distinctive eye colors. Hazel eyes are true shapeshifters. More than any other eye color, they can noticeably change their appearance depending on light, clothing, and surroundings. This isn't just a visual trick. It's caused by a mix of moderate melanin levels and small amounts of lipochrome, which interact with light in different ways. In one moment, they may look green, then shift to golden tones, and at other times, appear brown. This flexibility reflects their adaptability. Positioned between light and dark on the melanin scale, hazel eyes are well suited to varied environments, sunlight, shade, seasonal changes, and shifting climates. They offer a balance, some UV protection, while still allowing decent light sensitivity. Globally, around 5% of people have hazel eyes, with higher prevalence in individuals of European and Middle Eastern descent. Genetically, they aren't tied to a single trait, but rather a combination, which is why they often appear in families with mixed eye colors. What makes hazel eyes especially fascinating is how unpredictable they are. No two pairs look exactly the same. One person might have a predominantly green iris with brown flecks, while another shows mostly brown with subtle green rings. This variation has long contributed to their reputation as mysterious and expressive, sitting right between dark and light, with one of the most dynamic looks of any eye color. True black eyes do not exist. What appears black is extremely dark brown with very high melanin concentration, so that the iris looks completely black. These eyes absorb nearly all incoming light, providing maximum protection against UV radiation. This high level of light absorption reduces strain on the eyes and may help lower the long-term risk of UV-related damage. Culturally, they've often been associated with depth, strength, and a sense of mystery. Because the high melanin content makes pupil changes less visible, emotional cues can be harder to detect, which is why these eyes are sometimes perceived as more unreadable or intense. Although not always classified separately, very dark, almost black, eyes are especially common in regions with intense sunlight, such as Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. Heterochromia describes eyes with different colors or noticeable variations within a single iris. It is extremely rare, affecting less than 1% of people. It occurs due to uneven melanin distribution, usually caused by genetic variations or small developmental differences. Historically, heterochromia has often been interpreted as a sign of uniqueness, mysticism, or even supernatural abilities. Your eyes aren't just color, they're a living record of evolution. Every shade tells of migration, adaptation, and survival. From brown eyes protecting ancestors under the blazing sun, to rare blue eyes spreading through dark northern winters, each color is a chapter in human history. When you look in the mirror, you see more than eyes. You see thousands of years of survival, adaptation, and the incredible genetic lottery that made you, you. Every pair of eyes is unique. It's a window into our past, connecting you to the story of humanity. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.